Hello and welcome to Bricks and Banter, the show with real talk from the custom LEGO community. I'm your host, as always, Billy, and today's guest is the Flex Master himself. He's like a vegan, except it's concerning a set of figures Citizen Brick made 8 years ago. It feels like he's been 14 years old for as long as I've known him. The Brick Loot CEO himself, Parker, a.k.a. PK Custom LEGO. Before we jump in, I just want to apologize for the audio quality. There was something that messed up with my recording. I don't know what's the deal, but halfway through we had to restart because of some audio issues, and then it cleared up. It annoyed me just as much as it might annoy you, as I had to record. Really sorry about it again, but I hope you enjoyed the episode anyways. Let's jump right into it. And here we are with Parker, aka PK underscore custom Lego. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the podcast. It's been a minute. Been wanting to get you on here, and so I'm glad we made it happen.
Oh, you've been wanting to get me on here? Oh, that's different from what I heard.
It's like it's the nice thing to say. You know, it's the courteous thing.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
your guest feel like you wanted them on. You know, I was reading like how to podcast for dummies, and that's what it told me. It also said like I shouldn't like scam like the guest, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, those books, you just can't trust what they say.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, if you're interested, I have a book coming out next month about how to scam in the Lego Community 101. So you might want to check that out. It's going to be on Audible.
Is it
Use
called
my
like
promo code.
more scamming? Like MOHR
Yeah.
scamming?
Uh-huh. Yep. More
Or
scamming 101.
how to get more bang for your buck?
How more
How to
scamming
get more
101.
bang for your buck, a scammer's guide to custom Lego.
How to get chicks with your bricks.
I'd read that.
I know, you could use it.
We're off to a great start.
So anyways, I have a feel this is going to be the whole episode. We're going to make no progress.
Yeah, I know.
Just starting off here. I'm just interested to understand your origins because, as many people know, you are the founder of Brick Loot, which is a subscription-based Lego service. And I'm not sure where things like coincide. If you just got into Lego normally and started Brick Loot and then found all the custom stuff, were you into custom stuff? Like, how'd that unfold?
Okay, so this might be like a little bit long. I'll try to make it as concise as
No, go ahead.
possible. But I've always been into Lego, like as long as I can remember. Like I can't ever remember a point in my life where Lego wasn't a part of it and I wasn't building Lego on a regular basis. I've never gone through any dark ages. I've never had any of that stuff happen to me. So I've just always been interested in Lego. And I've had the benefit of well, it used to be a different location, even more closer to my home, but Brickworld Chicago is right near me. I mean, where it is now is like 40 minutes from me. Where it used to be at the Westin Hotel. That was 20 minutes from me. And if you've been to Brickworld Chicago now, it's 100,000 square foot convention center. It's massive. But at the Westin, it was like 4 conference rooms. Like it was literally like super small. And I've been there every show since 2008. So that was like my first ever exposure to custom Lego, you could say. I mean, like I bought like Brickforge when Brickforge was brand new. Like Brickforge, yeah. I mean, like when Brickforge was a huge deal at conventions, when Brickforge used to still vend at conventions. They might do now. I don't know, but they didn't
I
for
think
a
they only
long
really
time.
work through resellers, the Brickforge people.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least
But
since I've
anyways,
been in, I've always seen it like that.
yeah. So Brickforge like was kind of like my first ever like custom Lego stuff I owned actually. Like I was so excited, so excited at like Brickworld every year. They had like these $6 accessory packs, so it may be like a
Yes,
gladiator pack, and it was
yes,
$6, and you got like everything you need. You got like 2 swords,
yes. I
and
loved
those
those.
those slapped. Like oh my god, those were
Actually,
so awesome. But they didn't have all of them online, so they had like more if you were at Brickworld
mm,
and they'd give you like freebies, I think, and stuff. So, anyways, that was like my first ever custom Lego, and I've just been going there every year. I was even there in 2011, first ever. con appearance of CB. If you're a real CB fan, you know that's when Action Abe
Yeah.
appeared. I was there. I was oblivious to the history I witnessed. I could have made
If only.
thousands of dollars if I would.
Only thousands,
Yes,
only thousands, dude.
I
The
guess.
regret I have, not even of like, just the things that have crossed my path, and totally just let go without thinking, just being young and not so interested in the pop culture like CB stuff. It kills me. Kills me.
I want to
Yeah.
get more back into that later, like the stuff you missed out on. Like
Oh,
I
no
have
doubt,
some. Yeah,
no
I
doubt,
know
no doubt,
that's
no
like.
doubt.
I think
We
that's a
could
good
cry.
thing
We
for
can
everyone.
hold hands and cry together
Yes,
because
I'm gonna go down to
it is
Kunkletown
rough.
right now so we can hold hands.
Hold hands. I'll be right there. I'm taking the brick loot van now.
Anyway, so Brick World, like I'd save maybe like $50 for a Brick World, and that's all I saved. That was probably like 3 or 4 months of saving.
Mm,
Like just because like Brick World was a big deal because it was like the only place to buy like that kind of custom Lego stuff without like buying it online. And as like a kid, like if I wanted like one at Brickforge, I think they used to have like $20 order minimum or something on their website.
mm,
So like at the con, like you could just get anything.
yeah.
So I
And I mean,
saved
being a
for
kid,
that.
it's always hard to get access to online because you got to be like, Mom, I swear the website's not a scam. Can you put your credit card in,
Yeah, I was
please?
definitely
Like,
like that.
it's so much harder.
Yeah. But anyways, I'd save for those conventions, and I saw like the booths like Eclipse Graphics and CB. But I always thought like, oh my god, like $15-$20 for a figure. That's
Mm-hmm.
like
Same.
that's 40% of
So
my
much.
total budget
So
I
much.
brought.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather get
Yeah.
like 5 Brickforge packs, and that was a
And
mistake.
now the
Um,
Brickforge stuff is literally
but
worth
anyways,
pennies on the dollar.
oh my god, yeah. I mean, they actually they still make some good stuff. Their weapons, like the guns, aren't too good, but like their shields and armor, I think are some of the best actually.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hot take. But
Yeah. They have a lot of good sword shapes and
anyways,
shields.
yeah, they did one time like a few years ago. They did like these almost like metal coated like swords and stuff. They were really nice. I bought a few. Like I don't place Brickforge orders often, but when they posted those, they looked really good, and they're really good in person.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Cool.
so I one year it might have been like 2012, 2013. Al would know better. CB was selling mini bigs figures at a convention. I didn't know they were printed by CB at the time, but like me and my dad loved looking at like custom Lego minifigures online, and we actually used to look at like Al's site back in the day when he had like decaled figures and stuff.
Oh
But we'd
man.
never bought anything, so like we saw the mini bigs, Zombie Al, I think the figure was called, at Brickworld, and I'm like, oh, I have to buy that. So I actually spent like the $15 on a figure, and that was like my real first custom minifigure ever. I didn't know it was CB at the
Damn.
time. I just thought they were selling mini bigs,
Reselling it.
and
Yeah.
I didn't buy it because it was CB. I just bought it because it was mini bigs. So that was really my first custom figure, and then it kind of I still went to Brick
So you're like
Worlds and stuff.
the Mini Big's #1 fan, honestly. All the
Maybe,
way from back then, still still repping the Mini Bigs.
yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
mean, 8 years. It has to be 20.
Yeah.
It has to be 2012 or 2013 because I 2014 is the only Brick World I've ever missed. Um,
Hmm.
and I knew it had to be before that because after that was when I had Brick Loot.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I that's kind of like where it ends. And then I was aware of Eclipse Graphics and Citus Brick. I've been a Flickr lurker since I was like probably like 7. Because like if you Google custom
Damn.
Lego on the internet, like Flickr is what comes up or used to come up. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah. That was the face
so
of it.
I was like I knew about it, but I didn't buy it anyways. So I came up with the idea for Brick Loot in 2014. You've People have probably heard the story already, but I mean, I started a garage sale. I had an idea. I got a bad subscription box for my birthday. I thought a Lego box would be much better. So then we're working on it later that year, and we're like, we should do a custom Brick Loot minifigure in the box. And we're looking up custom printers, and I'm like, what about Citizen Brick? And we find out he's in Chicago. Like he's located in Chicago. So
Oh.
we emailed Joe, and Joe's like, sure, come by and visit. So that year, I think it was probably September or October of 2014, I went to CBHQ and met Joe. And I will never
Wow.
forget, like, I did the most
I never knew
awkward
that
thing because I'd
connection
never,
there.
like, done a meeting before. And I went to shake him with my left hand, shake his hand with my left hand. I'll never forget it because it was so awkward. But like, that was literally my first time meeting Joe. I'll never forget that.
Oh,
Um,
man. I mean, I can't blame
so
you. You're a youngin', but
yeah. Oh, and I actually missed part of the
damn,
story.
that's
We didn't
crazy. I
want to
never
do.
really knew the connection.
Yeah, but besides just doing a brick loot figure, it was worst idea looking back now. We were doing for our first ever kit in December. It's like a robot. Our first ever brick loot set. It's a robot, and like the chest opens up, and we're like, what if the robot is pregnant? And we put a robot, like a baby robot, in it. And we're like, why is you do robot babies for us? And we were gonna put it inside, and then like he didn't want it, like he didn't have enough time to do that because we realized, oh, he has to spray paint each of those heads because that's what he used to do.
Mhm.
But
Yep,
looking
yep.
back, like I'm so happy we didn't do that because that's like really
Honestly,
weird.
though, that'd be so coveted, though. That'd be so coveted, the
It
OG
would.
Brick Loot Citizen Brick baby? Come on.
Well, he did a robot
People would
baby
be
now. He's done one
I
since.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny.
But I met him, and actually I think I know I've shown it to you before. It's like I'll send you a photo. You could add it to the wrap up if you want. I have like a
Yeah,
gray
sure.
baby, like a gray CB baby that he gave me there, and that was like my first ever real CB piece. And I was looking at him like, wow, the
Really?
spray
That's awesome.
painting's really nice, except like the mini bigs. But this is like the first thing that I was aware that was CB that I ever got, and it
Mhm.
was from Joe because we were thinking about doing the babies, and he's like, here's a baby I did, and it's basically one of his OG babies just misprinted on gray or light gray.
That's awesome.
So I have that still, and in the end, we just ended up doing Brick Loot logo torsos, which is now the DJ Parker Flex torso as well. So that's kind of what happened with
Yeah.
that. And ever since then, later that year, December, like only a couple months later, I went for the first time to the Cantigny Lego train show, and Joe was a vendor there.
Mm.
Oh wait, let me back up a bit. Brickworld Fort Wayne that year, it's October. This was after I met Joe. I met the guy. We went out for dinner with the guy who actually used to own Brickforge, and he told me, "Oh, if you like
Oh, wow.
CB, next time you see him, ask to see the stash." So that
Hmm.
December, I went to Cantigny. Joe happened to be there, and I asked, "Hey, can I see the stash?" And he brings out the stash, and it was. I mean, looking back, there were misprint Norwegian heads in there. Um,
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah, I
light
remember your
flesh
first
ink
haul post.
enthusiast. There was a light flesh ink enthusiast, but he said it was on hold for someone. But like I got some heads that are good. I have most of them today. I traded those Norwegian things. But I have most of what I got. Like I got a real misprint head, like one of those heads that's actually genuinely a misprint and is messed up and has ink
Mhm.
splattered on it. Like it was one of the best bins ever. I wish I took more advantage of it because that kind of show maybe I brought $120. Like $120 is a lot of money, but it won't get you very far in the bin and at Victor's booth and at the other booths there. Like it
Mhm.
won't get you very far at that kind of show. So that was kind of, and ever since then, I kind of been addicted going to different shows. Brickworld Chicago, the main one, and since I have Brick Loot, I go to all the local, kind of not local, but Midwestern shows, and Joe's usually there. So I'm always in the bin, and I've just kind of been a collector ever since.
Wow, that is quite the backstory for it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of long, but I mean it's started almost, I mean, over 6 years ago. I've been doing it like deep dive. I mean, like I think 2015, 2016, I started getting into Flickr. Like I actually made a Flickr account. Sadly, most of my photos are
Mhm.
gone now because when they did the stupid 1,000 photo limit
Yeah,
garbage, it was
yeah.
like, okay, and they kind of forced you at the beginning to back up all your camera roll. And they hit me at the
Mhm.
worst time. Like my old iPad, I'd lost everything on it. So I'd lost all my photos on it. So it was like either delete those photos I had backed up on Flickr or delete like an old CB post I had. So I deleted the CB post rather than like delete like family vacation photos. So like most of my old Flickr
Damn.
stuff you can't find
I
anymore,
mean, in
sadly.
hindsight
Like, but
though,
I
which
like,
was really more important?
yeah, I mean, like, of course. I mean, I have photos there that I'm like really happy now. That I kept like I have them with like my grandma's dog that like I was good friends with, and he passed away. So like now I have those photos stored there, and I'd much rather have those than like my CB day one loop picture or whatever. But yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
kind of my origin story. I met a lot of people on Flickr. I mean, I probably talked to you on Flickr, I'm sure. I don't have any exact
Yeah,
memories,
yeah,
but
we did.
I'm sure we interacted on Flickr. Main person I interacted with on Flickr who got me to transition over to Instagram before the big Instagram migration kind of happened, before the 1,000 photo limit, was Citizen
Mhm.
Collector. You may know him as Jason if you know him, but he got me into Instagram. And then I started to kind of post on both. And then once the 1,000 limit thing happened, I kind of transitioned fully to Instagram. And that's where I kind of exclusively am now.
Yeah, I think we interacted on Flickr just for you to scam me. I believe you were actually my first ever trade because I was very, very hesitant to do online trades. Just because it was like sketchy, like, oh, what if I get scammed? What if I get scammed? Like I was always so nervous about that. And I
Yeah.
recall that you were literally the first one. And you stole my blue Ava, which is
Is
messed up.
red.
Or red Ava. Yeah, Jake has the blue one. But I can't even recall what I got in return, but definitely not enough.
I don't remember either. You definitely got a
I'd
good
love
deal
to
for
find out what I
you
had gotten
definitely
from
got a
that.
good deal for the Black Phillip though, so I think it evens out.
Yeah, we have. We've always done good trades, even if it takes us like 5 months to complete them.
I mean, like recently
Like I
we
always
did. We've done
appreciate.
two quick ones recently
We've done two quick ones, and it's insane. It's
in a
actually
row.
we're really due for like a couple month trade right now,
Yeah.
but yeah, I always appreciate that we can always do a fair swap where everyone's like, all right, I'm really happy with what I got, and yeah, there's
Oh, I
nothing
don't
better
feel
than
the
that.
same
And
way.
people nowadays don't want to trade as much. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I mean, I actually really like trading because like if I'm at a convention, I'll always usually try and pick up extras to kind of trade. Because like a lot of people, I feel like don't like if they have something really good, they don't want to sell it, but they'll trade it if I have something they want, which is why I don't like post too many sale posts
Exactly.
anymore. Because like I'd much rather trade because the money that I sell stuff for is just going to go back into CB and other customs. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
you can't always take that cash that you sell for a rare item and put it directly into another rare item. Like there's a value in having something old so that if you're gonna end up just buying trying to get more citizen brick out of it or whatever other Lego it is, then I mean trading can be a much better option, gives you a lot more potential to get stuff.
the guy I got my Action Abe from, flex. I traded for, but like a dozen people messaged him before me, like, "Hey, would you ever consider selling your Action Abe?" And he said no.
Hmm.
And he messaged me out of the blue. It was after CB Day 3. Um, would I consider selling or trading my black jumpsuit Elvis, which at the time was like it was like the I think was maybe the best figure on CB Day 3. Um, Looking
Yeah.
back, people may not agree, but that was definitely like one of the most
No, it
hyped
was
figures
very
before the
hyped.
event. Like I think you got one, right?
Yeah, and I remember it going on, and I was so pissed that you like he hit you up
Yeah.
instead of me.
But I mean back then, like the price difference between the two, like
Wasn't as vast. Yeah, you're right. You're
wasn't
right.
as vast as I mean, I'd still now I bet I like if I that black jumpsuit Elvis is probably like a $400 figure. I would not be surprised on eBay.
Mm, I'd say
On
250,
eBay?
but
No. There have you ever seen a
yeah,
Elvis misprint on eBay? No, except the yellow garbage one with the white waist. But
that okay. That
like
is fair. That is fair. There really
I've
hasn't actually
never
been one.
they really never show up any Elvis misprints anymore.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm kind of forgetting how exclusive the
I
Elvis
just need the
misprints are
blue
now.
one.
There really
There's
isn't
only
many
one
people who
blue
have
one
them.
out there. I just need the blue one. There's only
Oh,
one blue one out there. It was on CB Day 1. is the last one I need
Hmm.
to have them all, but I have no clue who has it. No clue.
Probably Danny.
I've checked. I don't think so. And if he did, I'd never get it. Never. Unless it was a duplicate and I
Exactly.
had something that he like really wanted. Only time he's ever offered to trade with me was a few years ago. He's gotten one since. I had like a staff torso. It's like just a regular CB torso. It says a black
Yeah.
torso. It says staff in white
Yeah.
on it, and he wanted it like so bad. But I'm like, oh, I only have one. It's really cool. And he's like, I want it. I want it.
Yo,
And
I
but I didn't
finally
want to
figured
trade.
out what those were from.
What
The
are
staff
they?
torso. There was a
What?
commission that on the back it said staff. It was this like red
Oh,
astronaut thing. I got it out of the bin the last brick fair, and I didn't know that it had staff on the back until like I was messing around, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is what like originated the staff torso." So that
that's
would also
actually really
explain why they're
interesting.
also a bit elusive because it was just the back print of what was a commission, and the commission was technically on a red torso, so the black ones are like
So it's like
a
a
just a
misprint
small
too.
extra little line. Yeah, in a way.
So yeah, I mean, but like I
Um,
traded with that guy. He just hit me up. He didn't even say he was trading the Action Abe at first. I'm like, I don't really want to trade the black jumpsuit Elvis, but what do you have? Because like whenever someone asks if you
mhm.
want to trade something, I always ask to see what they have because it can't
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, you never know.
And he's like, I'd trade my Action Ape. And I'm like, do you want me to add something in? And he's like, no. So I traded it. I did it. I was like still a little disappointed though. I'm like, oh, I didn't want to get rid of my black jumpsuit Elvis. And then like 2 months later, I went to CBHQ and Joe had black jumpsuit
Oh man,
Elvis
and they
just
had
sitting
one.
there. So I got it back. So I $30 all
That
in.
is a fairy tale ending right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy,
But
dude.
I mean, a lot of my best stuff I feel like is from trading.
Yeah, especially at cons. Not everyone, not many people are like really receptive to selling at when you're at conventions and hitting the pavement. Like they want to trade.
Unless it's like Saturday, like people are like broke, like people go broke during the private days and they need money. That's when you can buy stuff.
Oh, true. That's so true. That's so true.
It is. You
When
have to wait
somebody's
until
really
like
hard up
they
and they can't buy McDonald's, that's when it comes in. You're like, all right, bet.
yeah. You have to wait until after
That's
they go
so
through the
true.
bin. I've done that a few
Yeah,
times. I've
yeah.
bought stuff at cons and
Then
like
things
I
change.
usually get good deals.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. If you do get the opportunity to buy at cons, it's always pretty much a good deal. It's
yeah.
gonna be curious now going back though because I think since the last con, I mean, the last one I was at, CB started to inflate, but now it's had a long time to inflate up. So the culture is
I
going to be a
haven't
bit different.
been. I was at.
A
I
bunch of these
think
kids are
what
going to be
was
like,
like
"Oh, but
CB's
I got
second
this.
to
It's going to
last
be
con.
so rare."
Yeah. Oh my god. Like I hate. I mean, I
Which
don't
one?
hate, but like there's so many like people that like are getting into it just for the clout, and I'm sick of it. Like there are people that are getting
Oh
into
yeah.
the hobby just to fit
Oh yeah.
into the community. And I mean, here's my thing. Like the reason people are like, "Oh, you're the CB historian," and I'm like, I'm not a historian. I just looked at Flickr and remembered it all. Like if you actually want to be
Hmm.
like a big member of the community and be really interested, try and learn as much about it as you can. Go through the old CB Instagram posts, go through the old Flickr, learn what you can, try and see all the figures they made and learn about it. And that's the best way that you can, I think, involve yourself in the community. If you
Hmm.
actually want to be knowledgeable at it versus DMing people, is this rare? How much do you think this is worth?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's
And I
too
mean,
much of that now.
it's not even just like being excited about the product and like get you want to get involved in the community. Like you want to go back through those Flickr posts, those old Instagram posts, and like just absorb as much as you can and like learn about what's out there. Like it should be an exciting thing, like if you were involved in it. But now it's a whole sect of people just getting into it because it's like, oh well, this is easy money, money go burr, you know.
Well, I think it's harder
CB
to
day,
get
just
into
you
it
buy a
now
couple
because
random
like
figures and then
it's harder to get into it now because like you and me, we were on Flickr when there was maybe 50 CB Flickr posts. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't hard to look at them all.
yeah,
Like it wasn't
yeah.
hard to find out everything. And we followed CB, we
And
followed them
we
on
were just
Instagram, and
there
we saw
as it
all the new
happened.
stuff. We just saw it happen. And then we just
Yeah.
happened to look back. So that's how you do it. And I get why it's harder to do it now, but I mean, if some people at least put in put in effort, please, please put in effort, guys. It's just
Yeah, I'm not necessarily annoyed by people referring to us to like be like, oh, do you have insight on this? Because there is some like
I'm
unique
not annoyed. I
pieces,
mean,
but
I actually like educating people about it. I like
Mhm.
helping people be interested in the community. I actually enjoy that. It's one of the best parts of it. But when you just show
Yeah,
little
agreed.
regard for like our advice, like and stuff, and don't and put any effort into it yourself, that's like you're kind of like abusing us. I feel like. Would you agree?
Mm. Yeah, abusing might be a bit strong, but it's like you're kind of just getting used to get the end goal of like,
Yeah.
well, can I sell this for a lot of money or not? Because like when you're talking back and forth with them and you give this like whole spiel about why it's exciting or important, and then it's like, all right, cool. So how much is it worth though? And then it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not a fan of
So how
that
much should I
at
list it
all.
on eBay for? Like,
I
okay,
I I
cool.
I can't believe I've actually had people say that direct to me in the DMs. How much is this worth on eBay?
Yeah,
It's like,
it's what it
wow.
is.
I I I don't like it anyways, but if you actually want to get involved in community, DM me. I'll help you. I'll give you info. Just please don't ask what you should list it on eBay for.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Kind of a tangent off that. I get I get referred to a lot for like price checks on stuff, and what's really awkward is when
Yeah.
it's like two people that you both know and they're working out the same trade and they both hit you up to give out a value on it and you're like, which one of you do I like
Oh my god,
more?
there was
Who's gonna
one
get the
time.
better deal on this? Because
Yeah. I think there was
it's
one
such
time,
a
like, kind
weird
of similar
position
to
to
that.
be in.
There was one guy in a group chat, he was selling some old Steam meat, whatever, and I got one thing, and I was being bid up by someone, and I'm like, "Okay, I have to know who's bidding me up on this. I have to
Yeah,
know."
yeah,
And
yeah.
it turns out it was Mike, Citizen Hoarder, and I think, like, we
Of
came
course.
to an agreement, and
Yeah.
I think I let him buy it, but then I got something else because 'cause we're like, we don't wanna keep bidding each other up." This is, like, a year ago, probably, but I hate the Instagram auctions too. Oh my god, I hate, like,
I was
if you're
just
gonna
about to say
auction
that.
it
That is the
and then they do
worst.
the fake bids, I guarantee you, like, I would not be surprised if maybe 50% of them use fake bids. I'm not, like, saying any names or anything, but I know I hear people all the time, and
Yeah,
it's
no.
same thing with offers, like, making me an offer. I don't care if you make an offer, there are a lot of honest people, but there's also some like, "Oh, I offer 35," and they're like, "Oh, I just got an offer of 50. Would you go to 51?" And I say no, and they're like, "Okay, I'll take 35." Like, okay, you just lied to me. It's pretty
Exactly,
obvious. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that is the worst. Because it's
yeah.
always you'll hit them up and like, all right, how much for this? All right, well, give me an offer. You give an offer, okay, well, I'll have to get back to you. There's a lot of interest, yada, yada, yada. Somebody comes with this with my amount higher. Will you go that? And you say no. And then a week later, they're posting the same thing on their story because nobody ever offered them. It was just you, and they just decided not to sell because they were still trying to squeeze you for extra money. Such a pain.
Yep.
I
I
think
don't
that's
like it at
honestly
all.
one of the worst like worst I wouldn't call it a trend, but something that kind of turned commonplace amongst a lot of the younger sellers and stuff.
The
Like it's
newer
so
collectors
so annoying.
or
And
sellers, I want.
yeah, and you don't think that like the more veteran people don't notice that. Like
Yeah.
we do
I mean,
and we don't like it. Like it doesn't if you're really trying to like be a respectable person in the community and have good reputation because I really believe like once I got more involved with a lot of the collectors, what goes around like comes around, and you can legitimately find other collectors which you could be really tight with, and like for anyone listening you can see how insane the market is, right? Like there's no way that me or Parker are going on eBay every week and we're buying whatever thing went for $100 because that's what we needed. Like we're getting it in different ways through friends who were able to pick up a second one, but we hooked them up last month with this thing that we were able to get a second one of. So it all just comes around, and at the end of the day, we're just netting getting it for retail because of that. Um,
yeah,
I'm not saying to become friendly with people just to get stuff out of it, but you can genuinely form like beneficial relationships in the community through being like just an upstanding individual and helping others out in the community. It's not all about the dollar.
Yeah, which is why you haven't like risen to prominent status in the community. No comment.
Was that are you targeting me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've seen it a lot. It's kind of just what goes around comes around in one way or another. And I don't mean that like in a malicious way or anything, but it's just that's how it always unfolds. You're
if you
nice, you're
help
going to get nice things done to you.
if you help other people are gonna help you. It just comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
If you're
given.
difficult to deal with, you're going to have difficulty dealing with others when you try and trade
Yep,
with them. It's how it goes.
yep. I can think of multiple names when you said that.
Oh, yeah.
I probably have
Yeah.
like I've probably listed like 15 people in my
I
head.
got 5 on my head right now. Yeah. I mean, it
Okay.
could go on and on, but there was like an immediate 5, a quick fiver, just like
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely, definitely. For sure, for sure, for sure, as you would say.
for sure. For sure, for sure.
That's
Alrighty.
like your catchphrase.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need like a
Apparently
name
now
to
it
call
is.
your fans. You need because like every like YouTube channel they have like something called
Ah.
all their fans. Can you like you should like call your fans like the Kochers.
I might as well just call them the Hinks. Come on. It's so much
Oh,
easier.
nobody knows what that means
It's got a
except
nice
us.
ring to it. Definitely not offensive.
It does. Not at all. It's H
What's
I
up,
N
Hinks?
K
It's me,
S.
your boy. Yeah.
No, I that's gonna like fly over. Nobody even knows what that means. But
None
that
of
may
our
be why
friends,
it's so
it's
good.
just us.
It's just us. It
It
was just
is.
us in
It's
the
terrific.
DMs. I
We're
don't
like,
even want to explain it because I just want people to be more confused.
yeah. So going back to like your brick loot stuff and just business adventures, you've expanded into doing your own printing. Would you mind talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, we have a UV printer, a pretty big UV printer. I mean, we now like every month we try and do a custom Lego minifigure, so we print those all in house now, and then when we have time and the printer's not in use, because we do a lot of corporate clients as well, like Fortune 500 brands, a lot of that kind of stuff too. We do that. So when I have like free time on the printer, I'll print my own stuff. Like I did, you can check my page. I did Blade Runner figures. I did an Elon Musk. So I do lots of my own custom figures now. I have some more that I'm working on currently. They'll come soon, but UV printer is definitely oh, and I want to clear up the misconception about the UV printer. You might know this because you helped out Victor for a while. It's not as easy as I used to think. Oh, you just put it in the jig and you put the art in the file and you press print and
Yeah.
it's done. It's not that easy at
Yeah.
all.
Printer go burr.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy. But you're gonna have to do a lot of test prints, a lot of work on alignment to get stuff done. It's
And
not as easy as you just put in.
it's why digital printing has like such a bad rap is because everyone thinks it's so easy. So everyone's like, all
It's
right, yeah, I'll
not at
pick up a
all.
digital printer and then I just print this stuff. And that's why everyone's like, oh yeah, UV sucks because all these people just treat it like it's a paper printer
I
and
would actually
throw
say
stuff in there and have their things.
I'd say the difficulty is comparable to pad actually. Like if you have no Photoshop, no
Mm.
anything editing experience and you're just learning everything from the top, I'd say it's comparable to pad. It's a lot less like hand work as pad, but it's a lot of stuff to take in and learn and you just learn all these techniques and have to use them at the right time. Um, like for example, if you're printing a yellow on red and a yellow on blue, they're not going to work. You have to do white underneath, but oh, you may need two coats of white if your white isn't as solid as towards the end of the cartridge. Like there's a lot of stuff you have to
Hmm.
pick up.
See, I didn't even know that, like in terms of how the colors interact. But yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah, I mean like most of the
I've
time
known it's always
colors
a
don't work.
factor, but
Most of the time colors
really,
don't work on stuff. You have to do white underneath for it to pop.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because UV ink is actually translucent in a way. So when you print on it, if you're printing yellow, it'll be like a translucent yellow on top of red, and it just won't work. So you have to do white underneath for it to actually be the full yellow.
Makes sense.
So it's much harder than it seems versus like pad where You don't always need white underneath. I mean, you can if you want it to be more crisp and color match better, but you don't have to put white underneath. So, and there's also stuff that UV can do that pad can't. Like you can add gloss on UV, which isn't necessarily the best for like Lego style stuff. But I mean, like if you're doing like a corporate commission, you want like the logo to really pop. Like you can put gloss on it and make it really cool. Like it has a lot of. They both pad and UV both have their pluses and minuses. I don't know if one is better than the other. I mean, if you're like Lego purist, I think pad matches more clearly. If you like more design stuff, then UV is better. I like both. I'm fine with both. I buy CB. I buy Eclipse Graphics. I make my own stuff. I think both are great.
Yeah, I'm with you. We got to stop the UV hate. All right,
No more UV
it's not that
hate.
bad. The with your custom figures, are you the one designing them as well?
No, we actually have a designer that does it. Actually, they used to work at Lego.
Oh
Like
wow,
they
that's
were
awesome.
they did freelance work for Lego a while ago. I think it was freelance. I don't think they actually were in Denmark. I don't know, because they're not in Denmark now. I don't think so. I don't know where they are. But anyways, they used to work for Lego, and they were like the
Mhm.
perfect person. But they hadn't done Lego in like so long. Like it was like 5 years after they stopped, so they were like a little rough at first. But now they're like pretty spot on, like
That's
Lego
cool.
style. Like I think they nailed it. I don't know if you saw. I sent like an image of a design in the group chat yesterday. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
the
saw.
new one. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
don't.
I saw that.
Yeah, I don't want anybody steal the idea because I feel like that would be something TMC would do. I don't want the wicked wiener Garrett to be listening and steal it.
And
But
Garrett, if you're listening, come on the podcast. But
we'll talk. We just talk. It's like I don't want him to steal it. Like that totally seems like something he would do though. That set that I'm working on.
oh, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, but like that
Just
design,
on
if you thought
principle,
that
he would
was good,
steal it.
yeah. But if you thought that design was good, that's what my person does in terms of caliber of design.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was really good.
I may even
Moving
pad
on.
print that one. I'm
The
looking into pad printing for that because it may sell more than UV.
ooh, yeah,
I'm
that's
looking. I'm
possible.
emailing my guy.
Especially
I
my
know
guy.
because I shared it and there was a my guy.
Just get
There
it
was a
done through
lot of
Citizenberg, and then it'll instantly sell out.
oh my god.
It'll
I
it'll
because
instantly sell out
I
if it's CB.
yeah, I wasn't sure. The thing is, if I could like, because pad printing, I'm gonna have to do at least 100, and I'm like, okay. Like with my Blade Runner figs, I do now. I print like 5 or 10 at a time, and then when they sell out, I just print 5 or 10 more. Like I kind of do it on a rolling basis.
Mm,
Like I can't like
yeah, that's smart,
undersell
and
really.
that's one
I
of the
mean, except
benefits
for the
of
parts.
UV.
Like I just bought a yeah, and then but for pad, like I have to know I have 100, and I'm like, I don't think I could do this, even though like this fig I kind of want to try in that. But then there was so much
Mm,
interest in misprint colors like gold, and then I was thinking, oh, a blue misprint
yeah,
would be cool. And I'm thinking if I actually did that, it wouldn't be unfeasible to do 100 if I
yeah.
could
Once you add
sell. If I
misprints into the
yeah
mix, like those limited quantities that you have to meet for pad printing, they kind of it gets lowered. It's not as difficult to reach that number,
yeah
or printing commissions in general. Because
yeah.
I got like the bricks and banner torsos right now for with Eclipse graphics being printed, and
Ooh,
same thing. I was like, all right, well, I'm only doing 100, but it was like once I split the mix with like 50 black and 50 misprint colors, it was like, all right, well, that was
is there
really fast
purple?
to gather all the torsos.
Is there a purple?
If there's not, I'll make a purple one just for you. Because
Thank you,
what I'm planning to do is
Father.
I might not send it out like, you're welcome, son. I might not send it out like right off the bat, but most of the people who've been on the podcast, I regularly send stuff to. So whoever's been a guest will automatically get a torso.
Dope.
So yeah, I'll make sure there's a purple one for you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not
Dash is
getting
getting
into
the only
purple
lime one.
misprints. I hate to
You're
break it
only
to you
getting into
guys,
it, yeah.
but I'm doing my CB commission, and Mike is getting the one of two lime.
What?
He's gonna.
How could you
Okay,
do
so
that?
when he did my sticker, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do the sticker design for you unless you let me buy the one of two lime. And it was like strong armed. I even like tried waiting a day, I think. Like, nope, don't want to do it. And he's like, only way.
That's bad, bro.
I know.
That's
So
so funny.
don't like take me out of the group chat, Dash. Take out Mike.
Mike is playing hardball with these commissions, bro. He's getting so
Yeah.
many misprints, it's crazy.
Did he wait? He did your bricks and banner sticker, right? Like the brick one.
He did my logo. Yeah, he did the
Yeah.
logo
Did you have to
for
trade
the
for it?
podcast. No,
You
I
have to.
it was around one of the Citizen Brick drops, so he's like, "Yeah, it's cool. You could just pay me." He left it up
Oh,
to me either way. I looked around for stuff, but I was like, "Yeah, there's not really anything like significant that
he
would
made
kind of
me
work." And
trade
he's like, "All
also
right,
for mine. He made me trade also for mine, like the yellow, like Star Trek head. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one with the goggles.
yeah, yeah, the Giordi, whatever
Yeah.
guy, yeah."
He wanted like I've wanted like I think silver and translucent clear. He wanted those. I'm like, nope. But I get rid of my yellow because I'm not like a yellow. I don't ever really use yellow in anything.
You know, it was like a crazy. I don't know if I mentioned it in the chat, but I did like a big sale. I sold a bunch of stuff to him, and it was a pretty sizable sale. And I was before like crypto's been a hot topic with like not outside of just like our friend group discussing it,
Dash
but just like
coin,
culturally. Dash coin, it's gonna be
dash coin.
huge. You could get 1,000 coins for $10. It's such a steal. Just think, if it gets as large as Bitcoin, you'll be a millionaire. But anyways, um, no, I was just looking into it pretty extensively while we were dealing, and so I was just bullshitting around. And I was like, "Yeah, thanks so much for the sale. This is gonna buy me like 5,000 whatever Dogecoins,"
hmm
and because it was like a cent at the time, I actually don't know. It was like maybe like 50,000. I don't know
I
how many
remember
coins it
when it
was. It
was
was a lot of
under a
coins.
cent, and like Elon Musk tweeted about him because like I
Oh,
kind of
dude,
follow
me
him a
too.
lot,
Yeah,
and I
yeah, and it
so
pumped
wish
it up
like
a
I
bit.
got into it because I thought it was like a joke, like and it kind of it still is a joke, like it was created to be a
It
joke,
is so,
but like
dude. I sold it to him. I sold all that stuff and made that joke that I'm gonna buy Dogecoin with it
uh-huh.
the week before it pumped up to where it
Oh,
went, like right before the pump. If I had done that, dude, that would have been the hugest trade or sale of like stuff I would have ever done. I
because
would
it
have
went to
eight
like
times what it was up to 8 cents at one point,
yeah, it was like I think it
and I
was
would have bought in at one
7.9.
cent per. Dude,
Yeah.
I would have 8 times on what I sold him. It would have been tremendous.
I
But
remember when it was under
anyways,
a cent, like Elon Musk would tweet about it, like I don't invest in Bitcoin, only Dogecoin. And then like when that happened, it'd go from like half a cent to a cent, and everybody's like, "Whoa, I doubled my money!" Like, and then
yeah,
when he didn't tweet about it, slowly dropped down, which is kind of happening now. But I think it's like still like 3 or 4 cents, which is still a lot
it's
considering
been
like a
actually
month
really
ago.
consistent at five,
Yeah,
5 cents to six. Yeah.
I
No,
but
that's a
like
huge
considering
difference
two
from
months ago it was at a
being
penny,
stable at
like
1 cent or
it's
lower.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in my day, Dogecoin used to be the lint out of your pocket. Okay. But anyway, Mike's a dope dude, even if he has to
Yeah,
strong arm you for misprints.
yeah. Dashberg's gonna email or not email, message me as soon as he listens. Just if he listens.
Oh, dude, he's gonna be so pissed.
It's not me. It was Mike. It had to be done. It had to be done. It was the only way.
I think this is the
It was the
first
only way.
friendship we've ruined on Bricks and Banters.
I admitted it though. It wasn't like an expose. It was like I
It
just did
wasn't a hit piece.
it.
You heard
No,
it here first. Parker only came on to do a hit job on Mike. This is messed up.
it was Mike's fault. Oh my god.
Anyways, so we got some interesting questions just going through the Instagram poll here. First up, this one will be a quick one, is from Zach Brickman. And I'm actually, first off, before we get into it, I want to commend you on going 46 minutes without once saying Spring Breakers. I
Spring
am
Breakers.
I'm absolutely shocked. I'm so amazed at your bravery to not
I
speak
have
about your
restraint.
Spring Breaker set for more than 45 minutes. It's it's really commendable. But Zach Brickman comes in asking, "Are you jealous of BC's Spring Breaker set because it's actually complete and has the pink ski mask?"
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I'm not jealous of the price.
Yeah,
But
true
ooh,
that.
I mean, BC's
Do
a
you still
great
have hope
person.
that you'll
Like,
find the ski mask?
no, Okay, here's a question. Does me flexing spring breakers too much hurt other people's spring breakers flexes? Like other people that flex spring breakers,
No,
is it like less of a flex because they're like, oh, Parker has one?
no, not at all.
Okay,
It's like,
I
oh
just wanted
wow,
your insight, but because like I can't view it that way because I'm
something original from a new person. That's cool. You know,
oh
you it's just outplayed.
that stung.
It's out. It's overdone. You know, but soon enough, like it or not, you're gonna get the Hall of Fame medal, and that's all we're gonna hear about for like the next 2 years until some other cool flex comes along. So, I mean, the Spring Breakers will have their time to recuperate after being beaten to death as your only flex. But
It would be an honor. I would retire the
it's
flex of spring breakers if that happened. If that happened,
if
it's a big if.
it's inevitable. I think with your long history and literally, like you say that you're not the historian, but I certainly look to you as one because you know a lot more even than I do about the stuff. So I always respected not even just that you have the knowledge about it, but that you love those like oddball history pieces, like for instance this brick paper.
Yeah.
Just
I have like a big CB paper collection for those that don't know. Like, I know not a lot of people like them as much, but like CB, their old figures used to be in bags, and then they had a little plastic or a little paper card at the top. Technically, they actually usually go for less on eBay, believe it or not, than the card ones because they're harder to display. But I think they're
really?
much yes,
That's whack. No, I love the old. I would love to have an old baggy
yeah.
figure.
I got a bunch. I have like three bagged figure sealed, one bagged figure open, and then I have like four or five bagged things of like tiles and heads.
Mm.
They're
Dude, if I
super hard
think
to come by. They really never show up on eBay. Most of them are sold privately, and there's not many because it's much easier to open a bag than like a card because like the card is more of a display piece. Like you
mhm.
could put the card on display, but the bag is kind of lame because it's kind of just like what they used to hang it up on. But I think that's makes it neater because it's like an old piece of CB
Yeah, it's a
history
relic.
before.
Like
Yeah,
it shouldn't have survived. No, I agree with you. Um, my True Red stuff that I got, I've kept sealed until I like want a photo with it, just in case. Just so that like if there is a real longevity in True Red stuff, it's like, damn, all right, I do have a sealed piece for them. You know,
I just like carefully take out the staple. So like I don't. I'm like kind of like a hoarder. Like I have like a
that's
drawer in
smart.
my
Yeah.
office with like all the packaging for figures and stuff, like clamshells and
hmm
stuff. Because I
Yeah, I
don't
got a
like if
box
I
full of
ever want to sell the
clamshells.
figure of I need the packaging. But like the True Red stuff, like I didn't want to keep in the bag, but I also like didn't want to ruin it, so I just like carefully took out the staple so I didn't rip the bag or the card.
Mm. How do you feel about the True Red stuff?
I think they're good. I like his style. Like I think he's working on his own style and he's getting better. There are like some little like minor critiques. Like I'm still gonna keep buying them, but like I feel like there's like some things like he posted a figure the other day, like the tie, like it's a little weird. Like I get that he has his own art style, but like some
hmm
of it just feels a little bit like out of Lego. Like some of his like shirtless designs and stuff like
Yeah.
it's different than what a Lego shirtless would be. And I mean, like, I like that he has his own style, but I think he should like start combining the two a little bit more on bodies at
hmm
least, uh, so it could fit in better with like other customs. I think it's good that he has his own unique niche and his kind of own unique design style. But I'd like if he kind of mixed it a little bit more with a little bit of a Lego-ish flair to it.
Aesthetic. Yeah, because then it
Yeah,
could be combined with like normal Lego things too. Yeah, I get what you mean. The way I viewed it, and it's funny because a buddy was of mine was asking why I was buying True Red stuff, and I just didn't have the care to actually go into the rant. I was like, I don't know, I'm just a slut for plastic. I left it at
yeah.
that. But it kind of actually came down to what you're talking about because he's more military. It's Sean Star Connix, if you know him.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
shout out Sean. But yeah, it was kind of just like being in the military community. Everything's about like, what can I use that for that's different than its intended purpose, and to, like, revitalize pieces and use them creatively, and I love that. I mean, I'm always focused on that thing too, but I have just inherently, like, a collector itch to me, so I'm kinda split between the 2 things in my LEGO hobby, like, they're both very distinct worlds, but obviously having, like, a nice collection of parts can play into, having parts to use creatively, but regardless, the True Red stuff's really appealed to me, although it's not as usable like that, like, it's less versatile just because it's kinda got it reminds me of very, like art toy stuff, where it has, like, this
Yes.
very distinct weird style, and I feel like that's pretty interesting to bring into the Lego format. Like, it definitely feels like a premium art toy sort of thing.
I
Um,
feel like I don't know if you'll agree on this. I feel like CB is kind of like part of the art toy realm now, more than
yeah,
it used to be.
it's yes, it's transformed into that. Yeah, I agree.
Because there's people that don't buy any Lego that buy
And
CB.
Citizen
Like,
Brick, yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's, again, coming from, like, the military community stuff. A lot of people are annoyed at Citizen Brick for changing directions a bit and, like, shifting gears into more collector-centric items instead of things that are usable. Um, and I don't think it's a thing of, like, Citizen Brick selling out or something like that. Like, they've shifted their goals, and what they're making now is aligned with those, that it's more like they have a much wider audience than people who are making military or people who are making mocks specifically. Like, there's a lot of people who, to quote the great Spencer, "Do you even use it?" There's a lot of people who don't use it,
it's
in
just a
that
fat rip,
traditional
bro.
sense. It
It's
is a
just a
fat
fat
rip,
rip.
Like, there's people who've gotten into it that are strictly just out the gate collectors. Like, there's nothing else? Um, and that's interesting. It's a really interesting, I don't know, space that they've kind of found themselves in and evolved into. But I don't mind it. I'm here for it all.
I think like it also comes up to sales because like when's the last time you saw a new modern military CB torso release sell out on the first day? I
Yeah,
don't
you
think that's
haven't.
ever happened in CB history, but Beastie Boys sell out first day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think CB knows their market. I mean, they will do more military stuff and usable stuff because they have to keep those people in, help those people
Mhm.
out. But they know what their market is. They know.
It's not even
Yes,
just like
Joe has to
like
make a
talking
living,
to
guys. Joe has to
yeah,
make a living.
besides that though, again, I wanna go back to the point of it not being a sellout thing, because I've talked to Joe and he enjoys doing military stuff. Like, it's not just that, it's he's gotta provide for people, his family, running a business like that, and so when he can, he still wants to make military things, but I don't know, it's not keeping the lights on necessarily, so.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for this week's Copper Drop, we have first up the Citizen Brick Yakuza Ink Enthusiast version 3, potentially. Hopefully these are getting released with Citizen Brick Day. I'd assume so, based on them like teasing this around the same time, but that's up in the air. Who's to say for sure? I'm so excited. Is this a cop or a drop for you?
Well, before that, you missed your catchphrase. Usually you say, if you like it, you cop it. If you don't, you drop it. So I'm just saying that you missed out on that. This is the first ever for maybe a Bricks and Banner episode.
I don't think it's a first ever. I think
You
I
sure?
just respect you. I actually respected you for once and knew that you were competent to understand what was going on,
Yeah.
and but you decided to take that opportunity as weakness and roast me for it,
Ooh,
which I respect. I respect. You got to kick a man while he's down.
yeah. So, I
So
mean,
Parker, if you like it, you cop it, and if you don't, you drop it. There you go.
okay,
Yakuza V3 Ink Enthusiast. Go.
okay. So I think it's really nice. I mean, I buy anything that CB
Yeah,
makes
yeah, of
really fig
course.
wise.
Simp,
I don't buy
simp.
like everything they make. I mean, like if it's like a weird zombie body and I have no care for it, I won't buy it. If it's a military thing, I usually will skip out on it unless it's Vietnam, whatever. But so this figure, it's really nice. I like every time I zoom into it, I notice more little details. Like you see the dragon and maybe what looks to be a devil. I don't know on
Yeah,
his
no, the
chest.
devil mask thing. Oh my god, I love that so much.
On the leg, there's like a tiger. There's a fish. I mean,
The
it's
koi
it's
fish.
so good. I
I'm just
instant
realizing
pop.
how many flowers there are, which is a huge love of mine. I
You want me
love
to
the
send you
old.
flowers?
Yes, please. No, I just love art of flowers, drawings of them, and specifically just the old tattoo style. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I think this figure, I mean, it'd be a cop no matter what, but I think this is going to be. I hope he does the regular figure of this on Light Flesh.
Yes, I was just about to mention that. What I'm hoping to see is that like some of the recent releases that have multiple colors, there will be a drop down tab. And I'm hoping that when these release, instead of getting those misprint colors through Citizen Brick, like, the randoms, that there'll be a drop down tab and it could be like reddish brown, light flesh, whatever. That'd be
Ooh,
sick.
that's actually a good idea. Because I mean, like last time there was like the Light Flesh Ink Enthusiast. Even back then, when CB I'm kind of like going on a tangent, anyways. But like the V2 Ink Enthusiast Light Flash, like that was
Hmm.
at the time the most sought after CB piece. I mean, if you
Yeah.
put up an Action Abe and a V2 Light Flash Ink Enthusiast, honestly, I think the Light Flash Ink Enthusiast would have sold faster back in 2017 or whatever, 2016.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
possible.
those were so sought after, but they weren't expensive
It's
either.
so like it's so iconic is the
I mean,
thing.
they were
Like that's
expensive
their
back
it was the
then.
trademark figure for them almost.
Yes. I mean, like, but like, I remember a higher end on Flickr and they would sell was like 150. But looking back,
Mm,
like 150, I'd buy like 10 of those now if I could for
right.
150.
There hasn't been one that's sold or exchanged hands that like any of us know of in
I
years.
haven't, no, they're
Like
because they're all
it would
held
be
by
insane.
Danny. Danny has them all.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever has them doesn't want to get rid of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be insane to see one go up for sale.
Up
I'd
for
say at
auction
least
on eBay.
500. Yeah, I'd say
Oh,
at
for
least
sure.
500
For sure. For sure. For sure.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, that would be nuts. But anyway, I'm super excited about that.
I
That's
just hope the base color isn't yellow. I hope it's light flesh. And if
I
it
think
is
it will be,
yellow,
and I don't mind. I don't mind. I like yellow.
oh yeah,
Uh
I'm just saying. I hope if he does do it yellow, I hope that he makes enough light flesh
yeah,
misprints to go around for
to
everyone.
satisfy. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
For sure,
like
for
to
sure.
satisfy everyone, you'd need to make like I don't know, 50, 60 light flesh ones at least.
I'd probably like 150, but yeah. 50 is at least enough to be like I tried.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah.
Next up, we got True Red's been amping up with a bunch of new releases. The first full-looking figure that's been highlighted on their Instagram is the Melted Ink Boy. How are you feeling on that one?
Honestly, this is kind of a drop for me. I mean, like the head, I like. I think it's cool. I like the
I do
head. I
like
kind
the
of like
head.
the squiggle mouth, but the body, it looks
This is
like
bringing up
it looks
your
like a
concerns
face.
on the chest.
It
Yeah,
looks
this is
like a
exactly
face.
your concerns about like the weird body
It looks like
um
somebody is crying
design.
and drooling at the same time. It looks like a hammerhead shark. Like if you look really closely, like do you
Oh
see what
yeah,
I'm
I could
talking
kind of see
about?
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not a big
It's
fan
a
of
it's a
that
weird
body,
one.
so I'm gonna drop that. But I will cop. Like he's working on what seems to be like a Reservoir Dogs fig. That's
Yep.
definite cop. Definite
That
cop.
one's super sick. I'm
I think he
excited for that.
posted the head somewhere on his story. Maybe I don't know, but it looked really good.
And there's that
The body, the bloody torso.
the astronaut looking one that's coming out too, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like
Is
the
that
printing
supposed
on
to
the
be
back of the
Among
head.
Us imposter? Is that supposed to be Among Us
Among
imposter?
Us. Get out of
Among
here.
Us?
Leave. So last up here. This was on the last episode, but we have Fresh Talk Blocks, Sergeant S'more. At the time of recording this, they've actually released, and I believe you actually got your misprint one today, didn't you?
Yes. Okay. So my thing was, I knew like he had a decent amount of stock, like, and I didn't want like I was saving for CB Day. I bought a lot of stuff recently, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get the misprint. I don't need to get the regular one yet. I will soon. I probably will like within a week or so. But
Mm-hmm.
I would like first time I saw the fig, I thought it was kind of a cool idea, and then looking at it more, I'm like, it kind of grew less on me. And then as soon as I got the Dark Azure misprint, I think it actually looks really sick in person. Like I think it's actually a great fig. in person. So it was going to be a cop no matter what, but this is definite cop. I mean, my misprint version, it actually looks really fantastic in person. Like if you're on the edge, I'd buy it. Support them. Hopefully, I'll make some more figs soon. I think it actually looks really good in person.
Yeah, I think it was a really creative release. I like to see people doing like a commission where it's kind of bringing their own idea to the table and having Joe like bring it to life. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, I don't see too much of that anymore. I mean, especially since like Joe's kind of stopped doing original figures too. Like his whole business, if you look back to like 2011 or 2010
Mm.
when he started, it was almost all like original figures, like the Action Abe, the leather enthusiast, the biker guys, the ink enthusiast. Like those were all his own
Hmm.
things. But now it's all pop culture, and I feel like this is kind of satisfying that need a little bit for something out of the box original.
I actually hadn't realized that. That's that is very interesting. I definitely love to see him do bring back a lot more of the originals because there's the botany enthusiast, of course, which is a reoccurring um, character.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right.
When was the
Well, and then
last
there
original
recently
character?
the yeah, there's nothing except like reworks, right? Because there was a V3 Norwegian.
Well, and the
Um,
like, I mean, like if you want to count like the bowling guys, but like that's a little bit different. I'm talking about like an actual like
I would count those. I
minifigure,
would count those.
I guess. But I don't know. It just feels
Yeah,
like
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
I think thinking about it, there is enough of them sprinkled in like the past like couple releases and whatnot.
a
Like
few
it's
a
not
year.
that far. Yeah, it's not that far and few between, but it's definitely not as abundant as it used to be. Where there's like a lot of original figures, which I would definitely like to see more of.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, for sure. Well, you've gotten through the gauntlet of Copper Drop. Thank you for being on the podcast, Parker. We're also going to record a Patreon episode. We're actually not going to do it tonight, though, due to time constraints. So we're going to come back, do it on Friday. But by the time you guys are listening to this, if you're a patron, it'll be up the same time as the Monday release. So stay tuned for that. Any last words, Parker?
Okay, this is for like the new collectors out there if you're listening. Like don't be afraid to start small. You don't have to jump into it. You don't have to start buying $100 figures. Buy what you like. Start out small. You could start out buying some weapon packs, but start by buying like Brick Forge, that kind of stuff. You don't have to start buying $100 CB figures to fit in. Just buy what you like. If you're interested in, that's good enough. I think that will actually make you appreciate the hobby more, and that'll make you be in it more long term. So I hope more people get into it that way rather than just going head first into it.
Yeah, 100%. A wise man once told me you can't have it all. So just focus on the figures you like. And that wise man was a boomer named Karen, a.k.a. Citizen Six, a.k.a. Derek.
Oh,
Shout out to him, but at the same time, he takes longer to trade with than you do. So kind of gotta. That's a drop.
I've been
That's a
waiting to
Derek.
trade with him.
Derek. That's a drop. Okay.
I have a trade with him that we've been trying to do maybe for a year, but like it's kind of my
Yeah,
fault.
I'm
But
not
I
even
just never pull
surprised.
out stuff to do because I know it's like a side, and I guess I'm kind of lazy.
Yeah, the two of you can send texts back and forth for a month of, oh yeah, I'm gonna send a pic tonight. All right, yeah, sure, sure you are. Okay, dude, yeah, like, ugh, yeah, the two of you trading, it'll be the infinity trade. It'll never actually happen.
I don't. I might have done
It'll
one
be
trade.
Schrodinger's trade. It's like, did
Yeah.
it happen? Did it not?
If
Just
nobody hears about the trade has happened and hasn't happened simultaneously.
simultaneously, exactly. The trade simultaneously has been completed and not started at the same time. So, and with that, thank you so much again for being on, Parker. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, share it with a friend or leave a review for us on iTunes. If you don't want the conversation to end, head over to Patreon and access an additional 50-minute conversation with me and Parker. Speaking of the Patreon, I want to give a huge thank you to all of our patrons over on Patreon. We have Seth, Luger Enthusiast, Tupolev, Mike, Justin, Francisco, Dashbricks, Milo, Jbricks, PK Custom Lego, and Kashi Lego. It's beginning to be a mouthful. Thank you all so much. I can't believe all your guys' support. If you're interested in supporting the podcast as well, you could check out our Instagram bio. There's a Linktree link that will lead you directly to it. Thank you all again for listening, and come back next week as we talk with Jeremy, a.k.a. Commander Turtles.